How are we doing, Robust family? Look, before this show starts, which I know you're going to enjoy, can I ask you just to do me a small favor? I need all of you to give a robust smash to that like and subscribe button. Why? Because it helps us a lot. We want to get this material out there, and it makes sure that you do not miss a breakfast show beat on this Liberty Radio YouTube channel. All right, guys, do it right now, and I'll see you in the show. Good morning. It's that time. It's time to shine. This is your breakfast show, and I'm your host, Robert Ashitey, and I'm going to be with you from now until for the next 2 hours, and I'm really excited by that because I know you've had a good 27 minutes of being inspired. So already, your mind, you are ready to face the day. And guess what? On the breakfast show, we're taking the baton and we're going to continue carrying forward to give you that vim to start off your morning. And joining me in the studios with the lady of sound herself, the one, the only, it's Kathleen. Good morning to you, Cats.
Good morning.
How are we doing today?
I'm good.
Yes, you're completely loaded this morning, yeah?
Yes, I am.
I'm telling you, what's it like being the lady of sound on the breakfast show, Kat?
It's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awkward moment, eh?
Yeah.
It's good therapy. All right. So let's get this day started. And guess what? I want to introduce to you guys our guest for today. Joining us, returning back, the man from the Southern Heights, the man who with the plan. I'm telling you, he's like Abraham. Literally, his footprints are almost all over the earth just because he's on a mission. It's the one and only. We wouldn't have expected him any other day. It's Tuesday. It's Michael from the Akinle way. Good morning to you, brother.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning
Good to be here.
Good morning to you. Oh, I like it. I like your morning demeanor. You know
why?
Because I can see that you're like, let me pace myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, let me pace myself.
Yeah. We can't have two high energy people.
That's interesting.
Next to each other. I gotta balance you out.
That's interesting, Karen. We spoke about that just the other day, isn't it? We spoke about that.
Gotta balance you out.
We spoke about that just the other day.
You see, I'm in tune, man.
You are.
I really am.
Awesome. You're awesome. You know what's interesting? What's so interesting is because because we were talking before the show started, and I could see Mike was assessing me. It's like, okay, so this is where he's at the moment. so I get it. I get it. Well, it's great to have you with us on the show.
Yeah, likewise.
I know you've got a powerful topic, theme that you're going to share with us today.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All of our listeners are. But also joining us today, we have a man he's a man with a plan. And I'm telling you, everyone says, we have to get him because he's going to add so much salt and sizzle to the conversation this morning. It's the one, it's the only. Is it Jason Kelly or Kelly Jason?
It's Kelly.
Kelly, Mr. Kelly. Yeah. Love it. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, but I'm good. And it's great to have you with us on the show. Are you generally a morning person?
Not really, no.
No?
No.
No. I can see firm in it. Hey, Mike, he's got that look, I'm firm in it look in his eyes.
He does.
Well, look, it's a pleasure.
Smiling through it.
Have you got that picture, that Monday picture that we had of smiling through? We had memes of Mondays for people, and there was this one where the person's like, me in the office just smiling just to get through Monday. So look, it's great to have you with us, Kelly. You're absolutely awesome. Perfect. So, Mike, today's theme, we're talking about developing a high potential mindset. Yeah? Did I word it right?
High performance
mindset. These lovely words. Okay. So tell us about that. What does that consist of?
Yeah. So really good topic. And I feel like it's really needed.
Thank you.
Especially in 2024 where just set the context here a little bit.
Please.
Right? We'll set the context here a little bit. It's super, super hard for companies now to stay afloat.
Okay.
Because, inflation is high. We're kind of in a recession. Budgets are getting cut. So a lot of corporations today, or a lot of companies, are just trying to shred some fat, right? So that means that if you're not adding to the business, if you are, a liability, you're gonna be the fat that gets shredded.
Oh wow.
So what's happening now is, companies are looking at the ROI. So like if they're paying you 60 grand a year or 40 grand a year, companies are looking like, what's the ROI that we're getting from this particular individual?
What is ROI?
Return on investment.
Okay.
So what's happening is, if you're not delivering return on investment, we have a problem.
Okay.
Right? You will probably like get shredded. So why high performance mindset is really important, because it's something that you probably need to start thinking about adopting right now, not just to keep your job, but really like to be in kind of the top 1% of employees, or top 1% of entrepreneurs, or your business being the top 1% of businesses that does stay alive, especially like in this economy.
Yeah.
So a high performance mindset is a set of beliefs, attitudes, behaviors that enable an individual to consistently perform at their best and achieve exceptional results.
Okay.
That is essentially the summary, right? Keywords there is consistently.
I love that.
Perform.
I feel the weight behind that.
Okay. Would really dive into it.
Yeah.
At its core, high performance is about embracing a growth mindset, which
most people know about.
Most people know what a growth mindset is. It's a belief that you can improve and develop through effort and experience.
Yeah, I think especially through quite a few things that people can go through, I think it's also hard to have a growth mindset at this time, because maybe some of our listeners may be hearing what you're saying, especially when you say growth mindset, but they probably have a lot of, how can I say, gremlins in their thoughts, gremlins in their mind, why they might say, why should I even try? Why should I do this? But what you're saying is that, we have a choice. There's something that exists outside of what you may have been going through up until now that's been holding you back. And he's going to show you, he's going to put the carrot right in front of us on how we need to be, where we need to change, what we need to work on, so we can come out of this bubble that we've been in.
The really interesting thing about humans is we want really big things. We want really amazing things. But it fascinates me that a lot of us are just not willing to put the energy, the effort in.
I hear that.
It's really surprising and really frustrating. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to do this. I want to be, like, you hear this a lot. Yeah, I want to be a millionaire, but you don't have a clue. Yeah. Let's not even start what you need to do to be a billionaire. You don't even have the mindset. You don't even have the energy. Yeah. So how are you going to get there? Please break it down to me. I really want to know.
That's true.
And we're surrounded by a lot of these folks. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's like that. In a place of worship, it's like that, right?
It's the worst. That's where we find the worst.
It's where the biggest issue is, right?
There's a lot of complacency.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like, which, and I understand why it's like, I have faith. By faith. Right.
Yeah.
How's that coming? How are you getting along with that?
Don't want to pick up the sword.
You don't want to pick up. You get what I mean? Yeah. It's just like everything is by faith. Okay, go by faith.
Yeah. But something else that's interesting as you're touching on this, because I remember Effie was here and he said sometimes we compartmentalize things. So for example, when it comes to, and this is to those who are believers, right? When it comes to the things of faith to work in the house, they move. But when it comes to personal life, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to work, we don't have that same energy.
No. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Kelly.
I've seen it, especially when you said, so like there's places people want to go to, but they don't have like the mindset to go there. It just brought me back to how I got my first job before I graduated university, which was a operational engineering role. And the way I got that was when I saw the company that it was, I was like, whoa, I really want to work for this company. But I didn't have I didn't have the time to do it until I realized, no, wait, you do have the time. Just sacrifice a bit of sleep here, sacrifice a bit of sleep there. And I've noticed a common trend amongst very successful people. And once I did that over a period of about like 5 months and I got the job, it made me realize I shouldn't limit myself to one, a degree that I'm getting, or two, something that I just know. So something I tell people sometimes is, if you want to learn something new, you can. YouTube is your friend. The amount of things that I've seen on YouTube that it's like, people pay tuition fee to learn the same thing.
Yeah.
Rather than doing that, you can learn online pretty much nearly everything and still be successful.
So we have fewer excuses, but yet people still do not go.
Yeah.
It's baffling. It's actually one of the things that needs to be studied.
Yeah.
I think. Kat, don't you think? It's mad. I honestly can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
But that's why we're having this conversation today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's really important to understand that a high performance mindset also recognizes that it's a whole person thing.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, it takes all of you. Mind, body, emotion, spirit. It takes all of you to achieve exceptional performance. And one thing that you will notice, and we were talking about Elon Musk, right? Before the show. I don't know a lot about Elon, right? I'm more in the sports space.
Okay.
And when you think about like the greatest sports people on earth, or people that we really like, really popular names like Cristiano Ronaldo, or like, really top football managers, etc. There's a common denominator in all of them, which is obsession.
Okay.
It's obsession. It's an obsession to be better. It's an obsession to do whatever it takes to get to where they need to get to. Key thing is obsession. Key thing is whatever it takes. So if I need to wake up early, if I need to have a better diet, which, a lot of people don't even really put much thought into today. Right. If I need to sleep better, if I need to go that extra mile, it's all of you. It's and I've been in this phase where, I've had moments in my career where I'm truly like in a high performance mode. And you literally feel like you're on a whole different planet. Your mind is just operating at a different level. The way you prepare for meetings, the way that you organize your day, the way that you communicate, the way that you conduct yourself in like meetings with executive stakeholders, like you're operating at a whole new level.
It's a state.
It's a state.
It's a state of being.
It's a state of being. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's not something that you kind of like do when you feel like it. It's a constant state of being. It's like people that are going to work today and they're like, okay, you know what? I hear what Michael's saying. I'm gonna try this. You're walking into work and you're mentally and emotionally, you're pushing yourself to a whole new level of how you do every little thing. From how you communicate to your colleagues, how you communicate to your customers, how you prepare for, meetings that you're going into, how you prepare for everything that you do. It's like,
I hear what you're saying, and I think even our listeners, everybody has probably had some type of experience being in this type of state, whether it's for something that they were working towards, a group that they were in, a project, or maybe they had a situation where their back was against the wall because they had to solve a problem, right? Where they've elevated their state, their being, to operate much more dynamically. Their mind was on it and they overcame this particular situation. But usually when we overcome one thing, we usually draw back to how we was. But when you're talking about growing, that means we're going to be consistent.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's to consistently perform at your best.
Wow.
At your best. Bro, do you know what your best is?
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Right. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need to go and tap into that.
Yeah.
Kelly, do you know what your best is?
I haven't reached it yet.
Right. We all need to go tap into that.
I'm afraid.
No, but it's a good kind of afraid. But just think about where you can get to, where you're at your best.
Yeah.
Right, your absolute best.
Yeah.
Like when you're switched on, it's a whole new level of energy that you transmit. It's a whole new level of focus.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, and I think everyone that's listening, I'm going to kind of break it down into like the key components here, and then I'm going to give you guys all like 3 steps of developing a high performance mindset. And part of this is some big questions that you got to ask yourself. But I think I want everyone today to think about, what does my best look like every single day, consistently? Doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're on sound, whether you're you know,
I'm a presenter.
do your presenter. It doesn't matter. Like, what does your best look like? How can you be a better presenter? What's the best presenter that Robert could be? How do you show up to this kind of show? Like, do you show up like as prepared as? Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I've been following like U.S. politics a lot. My wife is really just getting on to me about it.
Yeah,
I've been
mine
following
too.
U.S. politics a lot recently.
Yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know, like the U.S. elections is going on right now, and you've got Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
who's currently the Vice President of the United States, and you've got obviously Donald Trump, who is former President of the United States, and obviously they're battling out to be who's the next President of the United States. They had a debate recently.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I watched
I watched it. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I stayed up to watch the debate.
Yeah.
There's the debate, and so when I was watching the debate, there's what they're saying, but then you get a glimpse to what operating at an absolutely top level of presentation and communication is.
I hear that.
Like, at such a level that you can convince and deliver a compelling message to 75 million people watching that debate to convince them to drive action. Like, I saw what, like, that was incredible. Kamala's performance was absolutely incredible.
Impeccable.
Like,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the level of preparation,
Yeah.
the level of delivery, the level of communication, the level of just attention to detail.
But no one's seen her like that before.
Right. So, like, when you watch someone that's really, really good at their craft and you spend time with them, like, if I gave you a camera and told you to follow like Cristiano Ronaldo for like a day, you're probably gonna see things that just blow your mind.
Yeah, 100%.
You're gonna see like things that the world doesn't see, but you're gonna see things that blow your mind. Because on a weekend when he performs, everyone's like, yeah, like, he's the best football player in the world, whatever. Do you know what? How he's got in there? Like, it's the week leading up to that 90 minutes where he's performed.
Yeah.
There's so much preparation and so much detail and so much work that goes into that process. We're only seeing the outcome.
That's right.
We're not seeing the result. So I want to challenge everyone to actually think about what does your best look like, and what do you need to do to actually get there every single day, to show up every single day. And what's going to happen is, if you can figure that out, you will live a more fulfilled life. You live a life of, you're gonna see more consistent success.
Yeah.
You're gonna see, your earnings will go up. Like your joy will go up. Your fulfillment will go up. Just everything will just rise. And then what the best part is, you just bring everyone along with you.
That's right.
Everyone in your environment just goes up a level, because let's be honest, as a human being, like, no one wants to be left behind. Like, no one likes feeling left out. Let's be honest, right? If this colleague of yours is just like a whole nother level, naturally, if you're not an idiot, you're gonna be like,
I better step up.
I better step up if I want to stay here. Do you get what I mean? So that is really it. So there's some key components that I want to share. There's 3, and then there's 3 steps to actually developing this. So the first one is self-awareness. So that's the first key component, self-awareness. So self-awareness is, I'm talking about the ability to manage and regulate your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. It's the ability to regulate your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. This includes kind of developing self-awareness, managing stress and anxiety, and building resilience in the face of setbacks and obstacles.
Wow, that sounds very challenging, especially in 2024, because it seems like the common thing nowadays is people to not manage their feelings or emotions, to be offended by anything anyone says, to not go into discourse or to feel like they're a victim. There are lots of different underlying thoughts that people have in 2024, which doesn't, how can I say, fit with this.
No.
To regulate the
victim mindset.
Victim mindset
is not going to get you anywhere.
I've seen that too much, especially when it comes to managing your emotions and victim mindset.
Yeah.
So something I've come to realize when it comes to the whole principle of pushing yourself further, at times you have to ignore how you feel. You can't give in to that. So especially nowadays where it's like, oh, I want to do this business. Okay, have you thought about maybe going into here, but maybe at this time, look into this, look into that? Yeah, but I don't want to do it right now. I'm just not feeling it right now. And I'm just there like, wait, what's stopping you? Yeah, I just have a lot of things, other things going on, and I'm like, you can't give in to these things if you say you want to have a particular lifestyle. If that makes sense. So when you said the victim mindset or like regulating your self emotions and thoughts and whatnot, I see that a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived it. I've seen folks that, you know, they take things too personally.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, oh, you're just harming yourself. I don't feel like I need to go too much into it. I feel like people understand what it means to manage your emotions, to manage your thoughts, and to manage your behaviors. That means being super conscious of how you're thinking, what you're thinking about all the time, how you're feeling all the time, and what you're doing, and to really question yourself, is it the right thing at the right time? Am I feeling the right thing at the right time? You know, I need to execute on this task. Am I feeling the right thing at the right time? And then having the resilience to push back. If you're not feeling the right thing at the right time, it's having the resilience to overcome that feeling at that time and get stuff done. So that's the first one.
Yeah, I hear that. Because it sounds so it's comfortable to not get stuff done, you know.
Of course it is.
It's so this is already, that's a big start. You know, I think that whole Nike, just do it, you know, mindset. You know, in your mind what you need to do, but literally you have to just switch the switch to go against your feelings.
And it's really hard.
It's hard.
It is hard. It's hard.
Very hard.
It's not easy. It's hard. As you said, it's more comfortable to just do nothing.
Not to make those phone calls.
Right.
No, speak to certain people.
100%. When you go to networking events, it's very easy to just stay in your corner, not make conversation.
I think part of that as well, linking to the hashtag of Nike, was just do it. I think people are too afraid to even just they're too afraid to acknowledge the concept of improvement and feedback.
Yeah.
So even if you start something and it goes wrong, I'll tell you for free, it's gonna go wrong, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
The feedback of, no, you could have done this better, you could have done that, you could have done that better. People just want to be perfectionists rather than making the mistake and improving along the way.
So I feel like he's read my notes. Don't know how. So that's my next point.
Yeah.
Around interpersonal skills. So what I wrote down was this ability to cultivate strong relationships and effective communication skills, developing empathy, active listening skills, and ability to provide constructive feedback as well as receiving constructive feedback. So that's the second one.
So provide and receive constructive feedback.
Active listening, developing empathy.
It's so funny because all these concepts, they fit perfectly with love life and relationships. You know, they fit so well.
They do.
Now I know why the Bulletproof Marriage book is connected to a business.
It is. No, marriage is a business. I'm married 4 years now. It's like a business. It operates like a business. There's a lot of
longer for you.
Is it?
Yeah, it feels like it's been longer than 4 years.
That's a compliment.
Amen. Amen.
Third one.
Yep.
Action.
Okay.
Action. Consistently. Again, this is like the second time I'm using the word consistently, because high performers are consistent.
Okay.
They're not one-hit wonders. Okay, so action: consistently executing on goals and plans, setting. Really important point here: setting priorities. Setting priorities. I don't know which one of you touched on it earlier, but we are very. I think it was. We were talking about it like roughly at the beginning of the show. It's very, very easy to do a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah.
Very easy. I'm guilty of it too. Set priorities.
Yeah.
Which thing on your plate aligns most with where you want to be and where you want to go?
Yeah.
Managing time effectively. Again, another big one. You were talking about sleep earlier. It's part of managing time effectively, right? How much time you're spending on a certain task. Are you spending too much time? Are you not spending enough time? Important point coming up. Developing the discipline and motivation to stay focused and committed to achieving your objectives. I feel like this is where most people fail.
Yeah. I like the part where you said you develop the discipline, so it's not like
you have it.
Oh, I want to feel like doing it, and I'm gonna hop on that emotion, just ride it all the way. But there's, like I think I mentioned before, there's days you're not gonna feel like doing
Correct.
it. You're gonna have to do it.
And those are the parts where you really got to double down on. The days that you don't feel like doing stuff, or the moments where you don't feel like doing stuff.
I'm feeling triggered. I hate those things.
Good. You should feel triggered.
Yeah. Look, listeners, are you listening? I hope you're taking this, right? Because every time we have a guest, I take it. Because, yeah, discipline, that word, whenever that word discipline comes up, it's a heavy weight. It's a weight of responsibility. But when we start applying ourselves towards it, gradually developing, we find out we get discipline, and we can get more and more discipline over time. We just need to start somewhere. This is what I keep telling myself.
The key thing's Gary, like we got to come back down to earth a little bit.
Thank you.
Do you want to see results or not?
Yes.
Right. I'm not even trying to be a motivation speaker right now.
I know.
We just got to ask ourselves questions.
Let the spirit guide you, bro.
Right? We just got to ask ourselves questions, right?
Yeah.
How badly do you want to see the results? How badly do you want to achieve these things? It all comes down to that. If you turn around, Kelly turns around and says to me, "Oh, Michael, I want to do this." I'll ask him, "Well, how much do you want to do it?" I want to do it. There's I want to do it, and there's I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna do everything I can, right? There's two different weightings there, right? So there's folks that are just like, "Oh, I want to start a business.
Yeah,
it's a nice idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go for that role. I think I could be a good fit." Or there's folks that really want to like employ a growth mindset, and they just go for it, and they just go and learn everything that they can, everything that they need to learn to execute on it. And that's the important thing. It's the execution. And it's the consistent execution that's really, really important here. Because without consistent execution, you're not going to get there. It's just not going to happen.
I think I know what it is. I think I know what the objection is, the emotional objection. I think maybe we don't have a big enough reason or why.
That's it. Right. So that now comes onto my next question. You literally just bridged me, which is great.
Yeah.
So going back to the self-awareness. So now you've bridged me into the kind of 3 steps, right, to develop a high-performance mindset.
Yeah.
So key thing, take time, number 1. Take time to reflect on your current beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Ask yourself, what are your biggest fears and self-doubts? Ask yourself, what is holding me back from achieving my goals? Coming back to the emotional thing. If that is your thing, emotional objection.
Yeah.
You need clarity on these questions. Because then you can move forward. Then you know what you need to do to flip the switch. But you got to ask yourself those self-awareness questions first.
Yeah. So guys, I mean, just that alone means that today we're probably going to have to go into a room, maybe a toilet or the loft.
Yes.
By ourselves.
Yes.
Right? Probably play, maybe no music, probably a little bit of music, and ask ourselves these questions. Yeah, I mean, it's true, because at the end of the day, it's like we said, like, what do we want? We're on this earth for a reason. We have a purpose. God has a mission for all of us, and maybe, the mission that we have has been delayed because of we haven't taken time just to get clarity.
Yes.
So
it was funny because I can't remember. Today's what? Tuesday? I think it was Sunday night. I was saying to myself, because I have a room in my home where it's like my office, like my man cave, right? And I was like, okay, I need to set time to just think. I need to just go and think, and just think about everything that's going on in my life right now, and think about what outcomes that I'm trying to drive in each and everything. And then think about, okay, are my behaviors, my feelings, my thoughts, everything, are they aligning to driving these outcomes that I'm trying to drive? If they're not, I need to go and fix it. Yeah. I need to do something about it. And that's not a 2, 3, 4 minute thought. That's a good 30-minute session where you're note taking. You're really like breaking yourself apart. You're humbling yourself. You're self-humbling, and you're self-analyzing. You're reflecting constantly, which would then lead to cultivating a growth mindset, which is point number 2 in the 3 steps to developing a high-performance mindset. So this is now about focusing on learning and development. You touched on it earlier, actually, what I'm about to say. This is about focusing on learning and development rather than perfection or failure.
Okay.
Embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, and be open, again, coming back to your point earlier, be open to feedback and constructive criticism. Question. How much criticism do you think you can take? How much feedback do you think you can take? If I came on here and I watched the breakfast show, sat here with you and Kat, and I absolutely ripped the show to shred. Ripped it to shred. Told you everything that goes wrong, everything that doesn't work. How would that make you feel? This is your baby.
You know what? I'd feel, me personally, on the journey that I've been on, I'd say I'd take it.
You take it?
Yeah, because the Bible says the way that seems right to a man,
Right.
but the end leads to destruction. So I take criticism. I'm pretty good at that. But if I see if there's like a malicious intent, then when we got to 3/4 of the way, I'm like, am I going to discern this spirit? What's going on with this, bro?
Right.
You know, but other than that, no, I would take it.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. So everyone listening, we have to ask ourselves that question. Because there are folks listening that are not very good at taking feedback. They're not okay at taking constructive feedback. Every kind of feedback feels like an attack on their personality, an attack on their character, an attack on their work ethic. It shouldn't be like that. Yes, it has to be constructive, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you have a growth mindset, your mindset will always be to improve.
Yeah.
What can I do to improve?
Well, you know, and just to add to my answer, my response, it doesn't mean that there are some things you might touch on that I thought I was breaking through on. And if you say, no, you're not doing so good, I won't feel it. I will feel it, but I know that I have to leave my heart open to receive it, to help me.
Good. Now think about how many people that don't have this mindset, right? They're getting good feedback and they're taking it on personally. That's not what you want. That's not what you want, right? And you actually said something interesting. There's a lot we're saying today that relates to love life, right?
Yeah,
if you're a partner or you're a spouse, are you open to feedback?
Indeed.
Are you open to feedback? Ask your wife later on.
Yeah, I've tried.
Ask
Love
her.
walk. We've done that.
And
After a couple of years, you can be a bit too honest.
And those are I feel like when you're married, those are sometimes the most difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard not to feel like attacked.
Yeah.
It's very hard for you to really take feedback on and take it graciously. It's very difficult. So if you're married today and you're super good at taking feedback, then taking feedback in another environment will be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
I think this can be said kind of in any setting, which is, okay, so there's one part where you get constructive feedback, nice, you develop. I get that. And then there's another part which I can understand where it may hurt of you get feedback and it may feel like an attack. But I think for me, I think the worst you could say feeling in the subject of feedback you could have is when no one gives you feedback at all.
Oh, yeah.
Because that means someone is just looking at you and they see the state you're in.
Not caring.
And they just don't care. So for me personally, when it comes to me taking feedback, I've gotten feedback that hurts. But I appreciate it because in the back of my mind, I always go, you could have not said anything and let me go to what I was going to do. But the fact that you did say something, even though it hurts, to me, it's like, oh, you care a bit about me. That's nice. Like, that's just how I see it.
I think, the people that we surround ourselves with, if we have a growth mindset, we want people who are not yes people for us, who won't just say the good, but they're open to say, to give a critique on us as well.
So this is another way of saying, everybody check your friends.
Check
your friends.
Yeah.
If you have friends that are always telling you all the nice things that you want to hear and never pull you up on stuff and don't give you feedback and don't tell you how you can be better every single day, check your friends.
And and also I think, because this segues so perfectly into love life, check the person that you're dating as well. Obviously, if you're married, you just have to pray. But if you have a partner,
give the feedback.
You know what I'm saying?
Give the feedback that you're not good at taking feedback. They've got to hear
you
it.
need to require it. And I think that's something to look for in the dating
100%,
period.
Yeah.
So this is really important.
100%. And last point, which is fantastic because we're on track for time. Take action. So use the self-awareness when you've gotten clarity to your questions. Use the self-awareness and the growth mindset, always learning, always trying to improve, always asking for feedback. How many of us actually go proactively to ask for feedback? Right?
Yeah.
and then obviously constructive criticism, being open to that, and then using all of that to develop actions. So you're getting the feedback, you've got clarity, use it to develop actions. That's the key thing. Develop actions, plans, or develop action plans that will help you achieve your objectives. I get a sense that there are so many folks out there that are just living life. They are just living life.
I think that's so scary.
Life is just coming. Wednesday will come, and it's just whatever comes my way. They're like this, just living, just going through the motions.
It's so easy.
So going through the motions, and like Kelly said, it is madness. Because okay, even if you're Christian, even biblically, there is no one reputable in the Bible that didn't have a plan and actually didn't go through this process. Really and truly.
That's true. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Think about it.
Oh my days, you are so correct.
They went through this from the beginning.
Self-awareness.
From the beginning to the end.
Interpersonal. Oh my gosh, then took an action. I'm just using Moses. This is my first front.
Right. So think about, let's take Moses, for example.
Yeah.
Moses had fears. He had to get clarity from God on a lot of things. He had to get clarity from himself. He had to figure out, okay, what's the objective? All right, the objective, save 3 million people from Israel. Great. What are my biggest fears? I can't really talk too well.
Yeah.
Right? What's holding me back from achieving my goals? Loads of different things.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, great. I've got clarity on that. Now he's got to go figure out how to get a growth mindset. He's got to go learn how to speak. Right? God's got to help him through all that stuff, right? He's got to go embrace the challenge of facing the most powerful man in the world at the time, consistently. Right? Embracing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Constructive criticism. Think about how much criticism Moses was getting from people in Israel. Exactly. I don't know anyone in the Bible that probably got more criticism than him, apart from Jesus.
It's true.
Really and truly.
And then he would have to go back because he would get a no, right?
He would have to go.
And he'll go back.
And so that was that. Yeah. Now imagine the 40 years, I believe it was 40 years in the desert.
Yeah.
With millions of people.
You mean after they won?
After they won. After they left Egypt.
Win.
Now, just think about the people in the wilderness, right? Think about how much criticism this guy was getting every single day. And being able to just resist and just look forward and just stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. The plan was the promised land. Just stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Right? And then, of course, he took action.
Yeah.
He took action. He did what he had to do. So they all kind of went through this. And I just want to touch on a few things before I finish.
Wow.
Focus on what you can control.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right? Focus on what... No point crying over stuff you can't control.
Yeah.
Can't control the weather.
And that helps to prioritize.
Right? It does.
Yeah.
So focus on what you can control.
Yeah.
Take key thing. Calculated risk, people.
Okay.
Take calculated risk.
All right.
And persist through challenges and setbacks. Today, one of the biggest qualities that Gen Z can cultivate or develop is resilience. Because things are gonna get tough. I hire folks. Right, I'm a leader. That is the one quality. That's the one quality I look for in whoever I hire.
Yeah.
Because I want to know when the going gets tough, how do you react?
Yeah.
How do you react? And it's not just about firming it, because I know this is firming it. No, I don't really care if you firm it or not. I want to know what plan do you have in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Can you counteract
this
situation?
Do you get what I mean? Because you can firm it, you can firm my feedback, but how are you thinking about this not happening again? Okay. How do we think about avoiding this situation again?
Yeah.
That's what we are looking for as leaders. That's where we know we've got someone special. Yeah. Someone that can take the feedback, know that they're self-aware enough to know, well, like, okay, this situation's happened. What can I learn from it? Why did it happen? They really break it down. You know, what can they learn from it? And then they come to us and say, okay, cool. Like, I've seen my mistake. I've learned this and this. This is the plan that I have in place to move forward to make sure this doesn't happen again. We've got a high performer. That's a high performer for me. Wow. And I'm going to end in there.
I think that was absolutely amazing. It felt like a Thursday. Thursday relationship power, where we get bars from Bishop and you just feel like 6 ounces lighter. Because a lot of these things, I definitely can relate to many of the things that you've spoken about. You know, when you know you have a lot of potential to take things to another level, but you have some niggling thoughts in the mind, or it's to keep that consistent discipline, where the challenge can be. And because amongst all these things that you're saying, you still have a life that occurs, you still have other responsibilities that are happening. And I can see how someone can hear these things and be kind of like, okay, when can I activate this? When can I initiate this change? When can I go down this rabbit hole, to get to this next stage in my life? But really, I think we need to start with that moment in the loft.
Yes, in the loft, and just ask yourself, what does my best look like? What does my best as a husband look like if you're a husband? What does my best as a father look like, or a mother? What does my best as an employee look like? What does my best look like? That is a meditative exercise. Just get a notebook and just write it down and just stick it on a wall. And I think and hold yourself accountable to everything that you write. And
the why, the reason.
You got to have a why. You got to have a strong why.
Because I can see everyone, many of us saying, this sounds good, and like, okay, I'm going to go to the loft, right? But if we don't discover a reason why to pull us to have that obsession, because we can only be obsessed with something, right? And I know there's an unhealthy obsession where we kind of forsake God, right?
No, and not that deep.
But we have to make it clear. We have to make it clear, because it can happen, right? But then there's a healthy obsession where we have a healthy reason why, that is inspired by God, that is going to bless and help many people, and that wakes us up every morning to go and take these actions that Mike spoke about today. Akinle.
I had one question that just came to my mind.
Yeah, go for it.
It will be very short. But I was just wondering, for people on the panel here, what's your why? Why do you want to succeed? So for me, for example, it's a big question. It's not long. It started quite young, but as time went by, I would see people I like cars. I see people with nice cars just driving by. I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice, no problem. And I moved to a different country, so I moved here. And I saw people driving nice cars again. And then one question came to my mind, which is, why can't I have that? Not that that's like, I'm working for a nice car, but why can't I have that? And then I came into this, like you could say, the world of, statistically, not everyone makes it there. Not everyone can be here. Not everyone can be there. But then my question is, why can't I now be there? Like, why should I conform to a statistic when I can just make it happen myself, so to say? So for me, that's my why, as in like, why I want to do well and succeed. So I was just wondering what everyone else's why is.
It's a big question for me.
I want to hear you on, bro.
So you go first.
I feel like you. I feel like we're. I don't know. I feel like
my why.
Yeah,
that is a big question. It's the biggest question you can ask me.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like my why isn't just one particular thing.
Yeah,
it's something that's how can I say that it affects too many people, too many lives, and it's not just one thing. That's the thing about my why. Because the thing that comes to my mind, okay, this is what I'm sharing this with the listeners now. This is the thing that comes to my mind. That like one time I was speaking to God in my youth, and one of the things that came to my mind, that came to my heart was, for God wants me to build him a nation. And then after I think, what's the shape or form that takes? So then. But then it's no longer about me, what I want, right? But I do want to build a nation for God. But it takes it's different things that I have to do to build this nation. You know what I mean? Whether it's in terms of business, if it's in terms of the way I put myself out there in certain things that I do, in terms of the type of family that I cultivate, to be an example. To build a nation, but I know I need to drive down and be more specific, so it might be the why will trickle down into the business that I need to develop. Why I need to wake up every morning and practice these things that Mike said for this to succeed, so I think that's it. So the way I phrase it is to build a nation. That's the instruction that came into my heart.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
You know what, so I've got to compartmentalize it, because my why for why I work the way I work is not the same as my why for how I manage my marriage. Or do you get what I mean? I have loads of different whys, right? So it depends what goal of mine that I'm really talking about. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
I hear you.
So it's like, okay, cool. Like if I say that I want to have this certain amount of, financial freedom. Why do I want to do? Why is that, right? Why do I want to have a certain financial freedom? For me, one of the, 4 or 5 years ago was I wanted to build churches.
Yeah,
I just wanted to build churches.
That
was my big thing, and that's something that really brought me and my spouse together. Is that something that we both wanted?
Yeah. So
that was driving a lot of certain behaviors. At one point I was looking at what was that country in East Africa. I was like Malawi or Rwanda. Well, I was actually just I'm just gonna go build a church in Rwanda.
Love it.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really does depend on what the goal is. I don't have one single goal. I have multiple goals.
Yeah.
And I have my whys behind every single thing. Some folks want to have 3 kids.
Okay.
Why? you get me?
So I asked that because it just circles back nicely to the beginning where you said many people want certain lifestyles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's great that we have these tips, and thank you for them as well. I'm learning from it as well. But what starts that journey, what initiates that journey, why do you want it?
It's why. Yeah.
I've heard so much, like you said in the beginning, people say I want to start a business.
Yeah.
I want to move here. I want to have this.
Yep.
Okay, that's nice. Why? And if I think if you don't have that why, maybe it's not just one why, but if you don't at least have a why as to why you do these things, I think down the line through your journey you may be someone who just gives up along the way.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's a show in itself.
But that's the thing about building churches, right? Because that's a whole journey.
Yeah.
So you're on the journey. Do you know what I mean? And to build church is not a small feat.
No.
But so it's a big journey. So there's things that need to happen along the way to get to that, and our why needs to wake us up every morning to go and do what.
And it's got to be a strong why too.
It has to be a strong.
It can't
why.
be a why that's
yeah.
You know what I mean? Fluffy why.
Yeah.
It's got to be a bloody strong why, to get you out of bed every single day and do this thing consistently, be at your best.
Yeah.
It's got to be a really strong why. So.
Because you know what the thing about it is, guys. I know you gotta leave now. Oh man, you know what it is? Because there's a place that we get to where it's not money driven. Right?
Yes.
Because the thing is, you have people that want to have a why that they're compelled by money, they're compelled by mammon, and that's what wakes them up. So, for example, if they don't have something now, they're like, they get revolted, and they go because they get for money. But maybe I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but the thing is that money doesn't have that kind of pull.
It gets to a certain point, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's got to be a bigger thing. For example, I have an academy. I have a football academy in Nigeria. Money's not a why. I'm not making any money from it.
Yeah.
My why is there's one kid that is going to get to be able to go to school and set up his family for generations to come through that academy. There's one kid that is going to be a professional footballer and his family won't ever have to suffer again.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's bigger than me now.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's right.
That's a whole generation I'm trying to influence and trying to affect. That's a whole generation of family. That's a whole family. Do you get what I mean?
That's beautiful.
My why is I can provide X amount of jobs in this community where they're really, really struggling, and they can all provide for their families. That for me is strong enough, it's big enough to get me out of bed.
We got a comment here. This is so powerful. I'll be thinking about this. What is my why? Very good. That's Tolu and Bullring. Jeanette says, what is my most important why at this moment in time? My whys can change, but the more breath I put into that why is whether I will succeed or not. Okay, very well put, Jeanette. So yes, I love those two guests together. They are so in tune.
Good to know.
It's good to know. I like that, Michael. That is a good tip. Taking time to be introspective. Love it. I'd hope that we would, but not many people will give feedback to us. This was something that was said earlier. Mijuli says, I take the feedback and reflect and learn how I can improve. Look, guys, this is absolutely awesome. It's been a great conversation you brought to us today, Mike.
Welcome.
Literally, I look forward to having you again. I know you have to go to your next mission right now.
Next mission.
But guys, there we have it, guys. This is our conversation for today. Developing a high performance mindset. He gave us the tools. He gave us the tips. Literally, we're gonna make this, put it online, hopefully get these tips that you mentioned in a kind of document. AI is our best friend, you know. Yeah, literally. And speaking about AI being our best friend, when Mike goes, we're going to go into our psychoanalysis put together by AI to find out what kind of the performance mindset that we have, all right, in the timeout. Yep. So Kelly's going to be with me on that one. Kat's going to be here. But Mike, once again, thank you so much for dropping.
Absolute pleasure, guys.
And if anybody wants to follow up with you to find out what you're up to,
yep, the Akinle way.
The Akinle way
on Instagram.
The Akinle way, because I know that you had your thing and
yeah,
she's had, and you got the Akinle way.
The Akinle way.
The Akinle way.
That's the brand.
The Akinle way. That's the brand. Branding. All right, guys. Anyway, we're gonna play some good music. Don't go anywhere. I know some of you are gonna head off to work, but if you got your work, you got your headphones on. More power to you. I won't tell if you won't tell. All right. But other than that, stay tuned. Wake everybody else up because the journey still continues till 10 o'clock here on your breakfast show. We'll be right back in just a moment. Right after. Hey, just a quick interruption. I know you're enjoying the show, but don't forget, if you haven't already, robustly smash the like and subscribe button. Do it now. Do it now. That's right. That's the mantra of your breakfast show, guys. We're gonna have a good day. Just before the timeout, we had Michael Akinle with us from the Akinle Way, and he was sharing with us tools, tips, and ideas on how we can actually develop a high performance mindset. All right. I also have with me Kelly today, who's been our special guest as well, joining us. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing good.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, mate.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, it seems like you seem to have a fan club here in the live chat this morning from our breakfast show faithfuls, witnessing you for the first time. Yeah, very impressed. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you've been doing so well in the morning, as I must say, and it's great having you with us on the show. So look, guys, now we're continuing this theme about developing a high performance mindset. Now, there are many things that Mike shared with us this morning. About our beliefs, our attitude, about consistency, about having an obsession, self-awareness, taking action, prioritizing, which was a huge one for me. I'd say from all the things that Mike was sharing, was that quiet time, right? To tear ourselves apart, to see what may be inhibiting us from doing certain things that we need to do, and prioritizing all the things that we got going on. I mean, for you, what you said, what things stood out for you, Kelly?
I think for me, more so, because I didn't really have anyone teaching me these qualities.
Yeah.
For me, it was more so, I kind of just bridge into how I got my first job. Especially when I asked, what's your why? So for me, my why was, and my close friends know this, where it was, I want this job. Not because I just want this job. I want this job because through this, I'm able to do A, B, C, and D. Okay. So because of that, the interview process for this company was about 5 months. Mm-hmm. And because of that, now imagine for 5 months, it wasn't every day, but for 5 months, let's say 3-4 days in a week, you stay up till about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., just learning how to do the job, studying. Wow. For me, that was my push as to why I want to do things. And then when I got the job, it made me realize, because I got the job before I even did my final exams in uni. When I got the job, I realized, wow, so you can really be someone in this world who achieves what they want, and you're not limited to a certificate that an institution gives you. I'm not saying a degree is wrong. If you want a degree, that's fine. But for me, I just didn't limit myself to that. And then when it was now mentioned of like time management, or always be someone who's willing to take feedback, like all of these things. Now, even when I started to work, I've realized, so even early on when he said, have you seen your best? And I said, I haven't reached it yet. It's because when I was studying and learning for the job, I thought that's my best, which it was. But then when I got the job, I realized there's a whole other world of what it means to be your best. Yeah. Or for example, like the field I'm in is IT. And on the bare foundational level, IT is just making sure someone else in the office can work.
That's right.
You can be your best and like have like, oh yeah, everyone, if there's a problem, come to me. I can get you back working. Wow, you're the best at IT. But then you realize there's a whole nother world of IT that's like, there's a deeper level. So now you have to be the best in that. You have to be the best in something else, and it just keeps going and going and going. So
Wow, that's powerful. And you know what the interesting thing is, this question about being your best, are you your best? The more, I believe God will always show you the first step in front of you. He won't show you all the way to the bottom of the road or the final destination, which is heaven. He won't show you that, but he will show you the brick or the step that's in front of you to step on. You need to raise your standard to complete that step, and after you do that, you'll do a next step, you do a next step, and you'll keep on growing like that. And here's an interesting thing. It's what Elon Musk, right? I'm going to segue over to Elon Musk now. When I heard this word about high performance mindset, Elon Musk, he has a really high performance mindset. He has his brain is different. I've actually got a video here of him. I actually took a few when I heard about the subject matter, because he's a really good example, but I think he's a really good example of sacrificing for that next step.
Yes.
What it means to give your all to do that next step and keep consistent on the following steps behind. Check this out.
Go to sleep, I wake up, I work. Go to sleep, wake up, work. Do that 7 days a week. My workload went up from about, 70 to 80 hours a week to probably 120. I'll have to do that for a while. No choice.
I have no choice. Okay. He sounds tired, right? But he sounds very regimented and disciplined, right? Elon Musk. And see, because of him, guess what? We have rockets now. Actually, I'll show the rockets, Kat, that can actually go into space and land back on Earth. Check this out.
You're looking at the rocket that will return American astronauts to the International Space Station from American soil for the first time since nearly 9 years ago. The American Space Agency signed a new contract. The U.S. will pay about $82 million to Russia for every astronaut on board a flight to the International Space Station.
The CLC on the countdown nets. Falcon 1 is airborne at this time.
Okay. And then things went wrong. I think it's a trial and error thing, man. Imagine how much that costs. Oof.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You said, you think it's a trial and error thing.
Yeah.
It's looking back, yes, it was trial and error.
Yeah, looking
But
back.
each time he did this, he expected it to work.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back to one of the things that was mentioned of not being a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of failure.
Yeah, I hear that.
As you go around the Earth, you don't see the lines and the borders that are drawn on maps. You see the Earth as this one entity, and it's our home.
Yeah, look, and as Mike said, once you start elevating yourself, you take everybody else with you. So now everyone knows it's possible. Everyone knows it's possible to take a ship, bring it back down, where the experts say, no, this is not going to happen, right? But everyone is elevated. But guess what it took? Look at this attitude.
Yeah.
How did you get the expertise to be the chief technology officer of a rocket ship company?
I do have a physics background. That's helpful as a foundation. I don't have an aerospace degree, and I read a lot of books and talked to a lot of smart people and have a great team.
You're self-taught?
Yeah. The odds of me coming into the rocket business, not knowing anything about rockets, not having ever built anything, I would have to be insane if I thought the odds were in my favor.
Why even begin?
When something is important enough, you do
Why?
it even if the odds are not in your favor.
How much of your personal fortune have you poured into this?
$100 million.
Action.
$100 million into something that you did not believe would work at the beginning.
Yes.
Not afraid of failing.
Not afraid of failing. Those are all the components Mike shared with us today. And you could see Elon encompassing that. And he was self-taught going into a new venture.
Yeah.
You spoke about, like, now, especially with YouTube, you can learn anything nowadays.
Yeah. It's just crazy because, like, something he said. He does have a physics degree that served as a foundation, but he doesn't have an aerospace degree. But he talked to a lot of smart people who possibly did, and they just shared that knowledge. And I think something that's quite important with what he said, and something I mentioned earlier, is that when it just comes to self-developing as a person, it just depends who you surround yourself with and who you network. So, for example, I don't know, or you may not know anything about ice creams, about how it's made. But I guarantee you, if you surround yourself with 5 people who sell ice cream for a living, you may not have an interest in it. But I guarantee you, the moment you go somewhere else and someone mentions something about ice cream, you'll go, actually, I may not be interested in ice cream, but I do know so A, B, C, or D.
That's right.
So it goes back to who you surround yourself with. Like he said, he spoke to a lot of smart people.
Beautiful. All right, guys. So look, we're going to go into it right now, and we're going to find out where we are on the spectrum. Okay, so basically we're going to be looking at where we are on the spectrum to what type of performer. Are we a high performer? Are we an emerging performer? Are we a potential performer with our AI psychological challenge? All right, psychoanalysis. I keep forgetting the words. Kat, are you ready for this one?
Yes.
I'm curious to see what you're going to come up with as well. All right, guys. So look, this is how it's going to go. Switch up, Kat. We're going to get ready now. We're going to give you a series of questions. Okay. So it's good if you have a pen and paper with you. All right. Near to you. All right. And when I give you these questions, you're just going to mark on there like 1A for question 1, 2A or 2B or 2C as okay, you got that, yeah? All right, so and also you could put it in the live chat as well. Maybe you might be on the move listening to the show right now and just type there 1A, 1B, 1C according to your response and your answer. And from at the end, we'll tally up the answers to find out what type of mindset performer we are. So guys, are you ready for this? Turn it up, Kat. Turn it up. It's that time. All right, let's go into this right now. Make sure, get your friends involved right now. Get them all involved. Refresh your app because we're going to find out where we are on this one as I'm feeling 6 ounces lighter from Michael's talk. I'm ready. My heart is ready. All right, Kat.
Yes.
Let's go into question number 1.
Okay. Question number 1 is, how do you handle unexpected challenges or setbacks? Is it A, I see them as opportunities to learn and grow and I adapt quickly? B, I try to stay positive but often feel stressed or discouraged? Or C, I feel overwhelmed and struggle to get back on track?
Wow. All right, guys. So in general, because I think there might be some things you might have a particular behavior towards. But when it comes to building, developing things, how do you handle unexpected challenges or setbacks? I see them as opportunities to learn and grow and I adapt quickly. B, I try to stay positive but often feel stressed or discouraged. Or C, I feel overwhelmed and struggle to get back on track. So 1A, 1B, or 1C. 1A, 1B, or 1C. Send your answers through to us now. Type it in the live chat. 1A, 1B, or 1. You have to be honest. We have to be honest because we want to see where we are. All right. This AI is going to contabulate everything and we'll find out where we are. 1A, 1B, 1C. Put it down now. Let's go to the next one. Kat, pass me that pen, please.
Question number 2 is, what's your attitude towards continuous improvement and learning? Is it A, I always look for new ways to improve and learn? B, I value learning but sometimes find it hard to stay consistent? Or C, I prefer to stick to what I already know and avoid new challenges?
All right, guys. So to A, to B, or to C, that is the question. To A, to B, or to C, that is the question. A, I'm always looking for new ways to improve and learn. B, I value learning, but sometimes find it hard to stay consistent. All right. Or C, I prefer to stick to what I already know and avoid new challenges, which is something that would be very comfortable to do. All right. So to A, to B, or to C, let's go to question number 3, Kat.
Question number 3 is, how do you set and pursue your goals? Is it A, I set ambitious, clear goals and take consistent action to achieve them? B, I set goals but sometimes struggle with motivation and follow through? Or C, I rarely set specific goals and prefer to go with the flow?
All right, guys. So 3A, 3B, or 3Cs. I'm seeing quite a mixture of responses. That's good. We love it, honestly, because we're going to find out in the end where we are and how we can improve from where we are. Okay, guys? So 3A, 3B, 3C. I'll just repeat that again. A, I set ambitious, clear goals and take consistent action to achieve them. B, I set goals but sometimes struggle with motivation and follow through. Or C, I rarely set specific goals and prefer to go with the flow. 3A, 3B, 3C. Let's go to number 4, Kat.
Number 4, how do you respond to constructive criticism or feedback? Is it A, I actively seek it out and use it to improve my performance? B, I appreciate it but sometimes feel defensive or discouraged? Or C, I avoid it because it makes me uncomfortable or anxious?
Okay, guys, this is it. How are we performing? Okay, 4A, I actively seek it out and use it to improve my performance. 4B, I appreciate it but sometimes feel defensive or discouraged. Or 4C, I avoid it because it makes me uncomfortable or anxious. All right, send your answers through 4A, 4B, or 4C. Let's go to the next one. Kat, number 5.
Question number 5 is, how do you manage your time and energy throughout the day? Is it A, I prioritize my tasks and manage my time efficiently to maximize productivity? You're distracting me.
Sorry, Kat.
B, I try to manage my time well, but often get distracted or overwhelmed. Or C, I struggle with time management and often procrastinate.
Woo! Billy Bo! How do you manage your time and energy throughout the day? Oh, man. You know, when we speak with Mike, I have times when I'm like, yep, eagle vision. And there's times when I'm just a C. Literally, I'm just C. I don't know. I think consistency is a key thing here, isn't it? But generally speaking, where do you feel yourself, guys? A, I prioritize my task and manage my time effectively to maximize productivity. I guess we have to do that in most cases, actually. B, I try to manage my time well, but often get distracted or overwhelmed. Yeah, that's an interesting one right there. That's easy to happen sometimes. C, I struggle with time management and often procrastinate. And also, it might depend on what's happening in your life as well, right? Right? Because imagine if you only have one thing to focus on besides eating and drinking, and you're not doing so well at that, we can do a lot better. Yep, so let's see where we are. 5A, 5B, or 5C. Let's go to question number 6, Kat.
Question number 6 is, how do you handle high pressure situations or deadlines? Is it A, I thrive under pressure and use it as motivation to perform at my best? B, I manage pressure fairly well but sometimes feel anxious or stressed? Or C, I find high pressure situations overwhelming and tend to avoid them?
Okay, that's very interesting. Each human being is different, right? Every human being has a different tolerance. I'm seeing quite a few B's. I'm seeing a few A's here as well. That's very interesting. But especially when it comes to emotions, because sometimes we can handle things in a very emotional way, right? But we think we're winning. But it's just our emotions getting the better of us. But there's always a good way to handle things. But let's see. So A, I thrive under pressure and use it as motivation to perform at my best. Oh my gosh, the ship is sinking. But don't worry, you over there, the lifeboats, you're an engineer. You go and seal the hole. Do you get what I mean? Like the person's... Yeah, all right, that's amazing. B, I manage pressure fairly well, but sometimes feel anxious or stressed. I think when it comes to pressure, I don't think everybody's a butterfly and they're like, oh, I'm feeling stressed. You know what I mean? I think that everybody feels stressed to some degree, but then again, it depends how we've we've built ourselves consistently, yes or no?
I agree, yeah.
All right, that can affect a whole load of stuff. All right, so I manage pressure fairly well. That's B, sometimes feel anxious. C, I find pressure situations overwhelming and tend to avoid them. So it's like, let me just stay where I am. You guys get on with it and fix the ship. All right, so 6A, 6B, 6C. What's number 7, Kat?
Number 7 is, how do you approach personal growth and self-improvement? Is it A, I actively seek out new challenges, read and take courses to grow? B, I engage in personal growth activities when I have time and energy? Or C, I rarely prioritize personal growth because I feel too busy or uncertain?
Okay, all right, guys. So how do you approach personal growth and self-improvement? Yeah, how do you see it? There's some people who are like, oh, it's just too much work, man. Why would you want to do that? Why? Isn't it? Like, there are people that actually see, like, what's the point of doing all that? Why would you take an interest in these things, right?
I think when I get those answers and people tell me, oh, why do you want to do this? Or, oh, no, guys, we have to do this. But why? I don't know.
It's just, everyone's built differently.
I don't know.
Do you get what I'm saying? I think part of being a person of God is that you understand that everybody's at different stages in their life, and everybody has a different role to play, right?
I think it's more. I agree, but I think it's more so. You understand you can't be the same. I'm not saying you have to be Superman and always every day, new challenge, new adventure, I have to be different. But you just can't be complacent with who you are currently.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, but there are other human beings who would be like, just because of their personality type, they'll be like, look, I'm not bothering you, why would you bother me? Do you know what I'm saying? So human beings are different. Human beings are, look, man, do you know what I'm saying? There are people who saw God come down in a flame of fire and they still complain. Right? So human beings are all different. We're all different. We're all so different. So 7. So how do you approach personal growth? A, I actively seek out new challenges, read and take courses to grow. B, I engage in personal growth activities when I have time and energy. Yep, I think I know which one I am. And then we have C, I rarely prioritize personal growth because I feel too busy or uncertain. All right, let's go to question number 8.
Question number 8 is, what do you do when you reach a big goal or milestone? Is it A, I celebrate and then set new, more challenging goals, or B, I feel happy but sometimes unsure of what I aim for next, or C, I celebrate but I often lose momentum and find it hard to set the next goal?
All right, okay guys, so what do you do when you reach a big goal or milestone? Let us know, A, B or C. Number 9, Kat.
Number 9 is, how do you keep yourself motivated during difficult times? Is it A, I use positive self-talk, visualization and stay focused on my goals? B, I rely on external motivation and support, but I find it hard to stay motivated on my own? Or C, I struggle with motivation and often feel like giving up?
Wow. Yep, everybody's different. I think this is kind of what Mike was speaking about, that, going into the loft, that self-reflection, right? These are asking very poignant questions, if hopefully that's the correct word, for us to kind of see what's inside of us. And from there, we can work on what we need to work on if we want to achieve more while we're here on this earth. So A, B or C, 9A, 9B or 9C, guys. Send your answers through to us, live chat, or write it down. We're seeing quite a few A's actually. This is interesting. Evelyn says, that's so true. We can't be complacent with who we are. Drop it like it's hot. I hear that, But God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever may believe. It's not everybody, and it's not everybody's going to accept. All right, number 10, let's go, final one.
Number 10 is, how do you balance ambition with well-being? Is it A, I prioritize both my goals and my mental/physical health? B, I sometimes sacrifice my well-being for my goals, or vice versa? Or C, I find it difficult to balance the two and often feel burnt out or unmotivated? Okay,
and this can happen. This really can happen. You know what I mean? I prioritize both my goals and my mental, physical health, so the person is able to keep that good balance. B, I sometimes sacrifice my well-being for my goals, or vice versa. So because you're having to take care of your well-being, your goals suffer. Or because you're pursuing the goal, your well-being suffers. I've had this experience, someone very, very close to me, they ended up on the drip because they were pursuing their goals, and then everything had to stop. Drip is when they, the IV, when they give you nutrients in your body. So even what it was doing was stopped, right? Because they were not balancing the two so well. It can happen, especially whichever way you decide to perform at. C, I find it difficult to balance the two and often feel burned out or unmotivated. I know personally myself, this is the final question, by the way. I know myself that if I don't take care of my well-being, I can't do nothing. I can't function. Literally, if I, like before I was coming breakfast show, I'd make sure I'd jog every morning, because in the type of work I was doing, I had to function I had to move around, do many things, kids, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think mine would have to be 10.
I think
10A.
I think for me, it's more so of, it depends how close I am to the goal. So let me take, for example, driving. When I was learning how to drive, when I first started to learn how to drive, okay, I've got some free time here, free time there, things going on. But then the more confidence I gained and the closer I got to the test, I said, now, because I really want to get this over with, there's certain things I can't do anymore, just for the time being, so I can pass my test. After that, I'll just go back.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I'm just thinking, like, you know, this is a thing, switch up a bit, Kat. Just because, for example, we've achieved the goal, there's always gonna be something behind it.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? That will require a different version of us. So new habits, new efforts, new skills in play, new skills to learn, you know? So it's like, I think it kind of depends what it is, huh?
It's okay. It's funny that you say that, because it's like, okay, so at one of the companies I worked at, you can be promoted to different levels, because that's how they do it there. And one of the, you could say, the key things, or their key phrase that they have was at this company as to how to promote was company A does not look at jumpings, it looks at landings. And then what made me realize is that you can jump to the next level, that's fine. You can get someone to be like, I need you to be disciplined for a week. They can't do that. But the thing about landing is that it needs to be your standard. Okay. So that once you get put to this next level, how will you operate on that next level? Will it be a challenge where it's like every day you demand something new, or is it more of you've built up your standard or your base to such a level that when we put you here, you will naturally want to look to jump to the next level. Yeah. So for me, that's kind of how I thought about it.
Okay. Beautiful. All right, guys. So we've got our answers in. All right. With our psych analysis to see what type of performer you are. All right. And what you want to do now is we want you to collect all of your answers. Find out how many A's you got, how many B's you got, how many C's you got. All right. And we're going to go to a very short timeout right now. We're going to enjoy some good music as we process all that. It was really nice, by the way. I really enjoyed that. That was nice, isn't it?
It was nice.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah. So let's find out what the answers are. All right. And then we're going to take it from there. All right. I've got a nice video to show you as well. A bit of Elon Musk as well. Let me see. Which one haven't we played yet from Elon Musk, Cat? Let me see. Elon. Okay, let's play one of the ones from Elon Musk that we haven't played yet. Have a listen to this one, guys. Yeah, that one. Go for it.
This is Elon Musk, his daily routine. Elon Musk's daily routine is pretty simple. Work, eat, sleep. And work takes up a lot of that time. With a bedtime around 1 a.m., Musk typically wakes up around 7 a.m., getting 6 to 6.5 hours of sleep. This is his sweet spot, because there's one daily habit he'll always find time for: showering. Musk says that's where he gets a lot of his ideas. Who knew? Don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of Elon.
Last week we did our Wellness Wednesday. We looked at having cold showers, which helps us to focus. And some of us have taken up having cold showers. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that, dude?
Sorry, I can't do that.
It's great. It's wonderful. You'll find out all your muscles start to tend to get strong, and your immune system and all these wonderful things happen to your body. You know, Kat, have you had a go at it yet? No. Okay, but let us know how it goes. Yeah, I believe in you. Okay, but yeah, cold showers, it's been great. And Jeanette, one of our breakfast show legends, she's been doing it. She says, I really feel that clarity. She's really seeing a big difference in her performance and everything. Yeah, it's been great. And Elon Musk does it because he knows what he's talking about. He's like the richest guy, and but he doesn't sleep that much. I'm worried about that. We did a Wellness Wednesday about sleep, and he's not. It's tough, man. It's tough. All right, so let's go take a time out, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, guys. Tally up your numbers. If you're put it in the chat. Just maybe it might be a lot of numbers to put. It'd be 3 in it: A, B's, and C's. So just put them on the screen, and we'll have a look at them when we come back. All right, take it away. That's right. It's gonna be a good day. I was gonna say Friday. I'm too far ahead of myself. Yeah. Today's Tuesday, Pursuit of Success Tuesday here on your breakfast show. In the beginning of the show, we had Mike from the Akinle Way, and we've been having a wonderful, beautiful conversation where we have been talking about developing a high potential mindset. Developing a high potential mindset.
High performance.
High performance mindset. Developing a high performance. Why do I keep saying the word potential? It's so strange. It's in my head there somewhere. All right. And before the timeout, we was actually checking to see, with the help and power of AI, to see what type of a potential performer you are. All right. With me, we have, as well as the lady of sound, Kathleen, we have here Kelly joining us this morning, and he was telling me about his exploits in Google, which has been very, very interesting, that we've been hearing today. But I'm curious to know what answers you have come up with, Kelly, which is going to be very interesting. All right, so let's get this show on the road. Let's see what the answers are. All right, first let's see what the answers are. Let's go into this. So we've got like Lucas, he's got 5 A's, 5 B's, so he's like split in the middle. Mijuli has 10 A's. Wow. Shireen,
crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shireen Hyman has 3 A's, 3 B's and 2 C's, so it's quite mixed. Evelyn has 9 A's, 1 B.
Wow.
Elon, get more sleep than me. Me, Julie. Tamara says she's got 6 A's and 4 B's. Okay, that sounds good. Tamara. Okay, which Tamara is that? I'd love to know. Mercy has 8 B's and 3 A's. But there's only 10 questions. You see, that's my high performance thing going on there.
Where is this? Mercy.
Yeah, that's Mercy. 8 B's and 3 A's. But she'll work out. David has 10 A's. Wow. Mercy.
Those are the answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. All right, Kat, how many did you get? Kelly?
Oh, I got 6 A's and 4 B's.
6 A's and 4 B's. Wow, that's awesome. All right. And what about you, Kat?
I got 7 B's and 3 C's.
7 B's and 3 C's. That's interesting. That's very interesting. See, we're all very different. And I'm quite curious to see what those C's come from as well. I'm quite curious to see where they came from. It's interesting. Okay, let me tell you my one though. I got 7 A's and 3 B's. 7 A's and 3 B's. Yeah. I felt that there was an occasion where 1 C was gonna pop up in there. But I was like, Robert, stop being overcritical, man. Stop being overcritical. But let's see. So, 5 A's and 5 B's. That's from Sama. Okay, great, Sama over there in Namibia. Kat.
Yes.
So take us through it. What do we have here? The outcomes of the interpretation.
Oh. The answers.
Yes.
That's a C right there.
There's a C. Let's go. So A's, mostly A's.
Is the high performer. You already have strong performance mindset. You're driven, focused, and embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Keep pushing yourself, but also remember to take care of your well-being to maintain this high level of performance over time. Okay,
so that's good. That's positive. Mercy says, wait, 7 B's and 3 A's. Okay then, Kat. Okay. Okay, Mercy, I got you. So Mercy's got similar to me. Oh no, Mercy's a reverse of me. Yeah, she's same as me but reverse. I changed my answers on one of the. Okay, no problem. All right. So what does a B mean?
A B is the emerging performer. You're on the right track to developing a high performance mindset, but you may need to fine-tune your strategies. Focus on building consistency in your habits and seeking growth opportunities to strengthen your mind further.
Okay. Okay, so seek for growth opportunities. That's good. You know what I mean? So keep working at it. You know, emerge, go to the loft, like Mike shared with us today. That's good. That's positive. That's very interesting. Keep going. All right, let's see. What's C?
C is the potential performer. You have the potential to develop a high performance mindset, but may need to overcome some obstacles first. Start by setting small, achievable goals and gradually pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Remember, it's a journey and every step counts.
That's it. Beautiful, right? So, because we see like, Kelly, we see like Elon Musk's and all that, and people. You even mentioned Uber, the guys who put Uber together. Yes. You know, their mindset. They all did these amazing things, but it started off with small steps, right? If we want to grow, if we want to become better, right, Kelly?
Yeah. Even when it comes to like when it's that small step. So what for the listeners, what I mentioned about the Uber is I kind of break it down in this way. Uber, in terms of a business structure or a business model, it's nothing new. Even before Uber, there was Uber.
That's right.
And what I mean by that, it's, so let's say you're at home, or if you're visiting a family member, and they say, hey, could you do me a favor, drop me off by the station? And they're so, yeah, sure, no problem, I'll do that. How is that any different from what Uber is doing if you just call them and say, hey, drop me off by the station? The only difference is you're paying for a service. And then I started to look at many different companies and their business model. All they do is just provide a service.
That's right.
That other people don't want to do.
That's right.
So, for example, when the lockdown happened in 2020, the business model that came or that really blew up was delivering food at home from like Tesco's or Asda or Morrison.
Yeah.
And then the more I look at it, I'm like, wow, okay, so all it means to have a successful business, and this is what people mean with when they say spot a gap in the market, is you look for a service that people don't necessarily want to do, or they take too much time in doing it, and then you can either, with the help of AI, develop a model that can do it for them, or if you want to, you be the one to do it for them. So when I look at different companies, whether it be Amazon, Google, or even the way YouTube started, all it is just a service. They themselves don't do anything, or not that they don't do anything, but it's not like they create anything new per se. It's just a service. So Google's service would be delivering the world information just to you. That's all Google does. Amazon delivering a package that's from one place to another. You could have gone to collect it, but we'll deliver it for you. It's a service. YouTube, even when the way YouTube started out, where it wasn't meant to be like a video platform channel, I think it's quite a commonly known story, where it was meant to be a dating platform. Their service was, if you don't want to meet this other person in person, do it through video.
Oh yeah, YouTube.
That's all it is.
Dating, YouTube.
That's all it was.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that, Kat. You didn't know?
I didn't know that.
Wow. YouTube.
So,
wow.
Yeah, like and right now, if you go outside, any type of business model that you see, it's just a service. Starbucks, you can make your own coffee at home. You just don't want to, so we'll do it for you
and pay you more on top.
Or just charge you more on top. Or even when it comes to like a simple shop like Tesco, Morrison, you could potentially go to a farm and do all of these things yourself, but you don't want to. So we'll do it for you.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
And that's what we call a service, a useful service. And guys, we're gonna need a certain type of mindset, right? To overcome different kind of challenges. Mike spoke about a growth mindset, and I love listening to this gentleman here. Play this clip, Kat.
Two types of mindset. There is a fixed mindset and there is a growth mindset. Most people fail in that process because most people live in the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is, this is who I am, this is what I know, this is what I'm capable of, this is what I'm good at, and this is where I'm going to stay. The growth mindset, it says, this is where I am now. This is what I'm good at now. But I recognize that if I go through a particular process, I can grow myself and become a better person. You need to learn to be uncomfortable. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And you need to be in a space where you allow yourself to be challenged, but more importantly, in a space where you are willing to be uncomfortable and grow.
And those are a few words from Vusi, and that is going to be our homework for today. Let's get out there and grow. We know where we are. We have an idea. It's been great seeing the results that you guys have sent through to us. We had many A's, we had many B's, we had some C's in there. You know, depending on what you want to do in life, what you want to achieve, the inspiration and revelation God has given you for your life, your why, whether it's to build churches, building a nation, build churches, whatever it is, we're going to need a certain type of mindset to achieve it. And there may be some self-limiting thoughts, ideas affecting our behaviors that are holding us back. We need to go to the loft, Kelly?
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, go to the loft. Go to the loft. Don't know what you want to do. We can coast through life, but if you really want to be that person that not only takes the 2 million people out of Egypt, but to reach the promised land that has been set in your heart for you to achieve, we have to deal with here. We have to be able to take, be accountable, be able to take criticism, be able to do all these things. We'll prepare this program on YouTube for you to be able to have a look at it and to let AI take all the notes and share it with you. But I really enjoyed today. I've really enjoyed myself. It's been great having you on with us today, Kelly.
Thank you. Have fun.
You fit nicely on the show, you know. You fit, you do. Yeah. You're awesome. You're awesome. You fit nicely. Cat, you was a bit suspicious of him at first, but you seem to.
Was I?
Yeah, I said he should come often. You was like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, he fits on the Breakfast Show nicely, isn't it? He's a cool dude, did it? It's a cool dude. Yeah. So we learned a lot today, isn't it, Cat? Mm-hmm. Literally, I'm 6 ounces lighter. You know, Cat kicked the nail and she goes, "Oh, like that's the weight of your spirit, right? Yeah, your soul. Yeah." So guess what? I'm going to become 6 ounces lighter again this coming Thursday. We've got relationship power coming. We should have Ije Amor. Turn up, Cam. Ije Amor. It is Ije Amor. Every Thursday on The Breakfast Show, we look at the elements of love talk. Ooh, the rebuking that I get and how I should treat my wife, it's only in love talk. You will change, I will change, we will change, and we'll learn to love intelligently. It is J Amor. That's right, guys. This coming Thursday. So we're going to be having Vernice and her husband joining us this coming Thursday. Hopefully, if everything gets done okay, we're going to have the one and only Chris Brown joining us, and hopefully his wife as well. We're going to have I Am Will joining us as well on the table of justice, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. But until then, we have Wednesdays, Wellness Wednesday happening tomorrow. We're going to be looking at tools, tips, and ideas in order to take care of the only temple we have to live in while we're here on this earth. It's a triggering subject, wellness and health, but we're going to learn some very interesting things, and like our listeners have been doing, if you put it into practice, it's definitely going to add a lot more to you. Let's change our mindset. Let's reach our full potential. Let's go to the loft and make sure we win. All right, thanks for joining us today. All right, and thank you, Kelly.
No problem.
You're awesome. Until next time, we wave at that camera over there. It's your first time today. Yeah. Ciao for now. Farewell. Bye. Yeah. 12 o'clock is going to be soul raising hours, so make sure you're there. All right. And if you've got any comments, I can take criticism. Message me on the Breakfast Show WhatsApp line. It's on your screen. Yeah, I can take criticism. If you're really my friend. All right, I could take critique, and I'll just send it over to Kat. Yeah, so just send this message here, on the Breakfast Show WhatsApp line, what you liked, what you didn't like, what things you like us to cover. Let us know on your Breakfast Show. This is your show, your program, and we're here because of you, really. That's how we roll. Until tomorrow morning, same Breakfast Show time, 8 a.m., same Breakfast Show channel, libertyradio.co.uk. Ciao for now. See you later. Okay, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that show and you actually captured that Breakfast Show Vim. We laugh, we joke, we learn, and we equip ourselves for day-to-day life. If you want to see more, guess what? We're actually live with a live chat and a live video feed Monday to Fridays on libertyradio.co.uk from 8 a.m. in the morning. So don't miss a Breakfast Show beat. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and definitely connect online. And I'd like to see you there on the show. Type your name in, communicate on the morning. If you didn't already, we're also on Instagram. Check us out on Official Liberty Radio on Instagram. There's so much happening on that platform. Definitely go check it out. And I'd love to see you there. All right, have a good one.